What is the best property strategy? How many times have you heard people ask that, or how many times have you heard people say, this is the best property strategy? You need to do this, forget about buy to lets, forget about, and all the rest of the stuff, okay? In my humble opinion, okay, and what I tell my mentees, the best property strategy is based on what your personal goals are, okay? So, for instance, now, if it's for lumps of cash, you maybe want to just concentrate on flips and you're happy with your 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pound profit after each one. Do one of those, two of those a year and you set up, that's fine. It's up to you. Okay. You might be happy with, you're running your business at the moment, or you've got a decent career, decent job, but you just want to make sure you're, edging your bets a little bit, and you want to make sure maybe a little bit more money's coming in, but really you're looking for the future. Then it might be buy to lets. You might think, right, well, I've got enough money in the bank. I'm just going to put 25% deposit down, maybe get a few buy to lets, let them tick over. I'm not really bothered about how much they cash flow and how much they cost, because I've got a decent career and I'm all right with that type of thing, but I'm looking really long term. It might be the fact that you've got one or two buy to lets at the moment and you're not happy with the cash flow because of increased rates or tenants and so on. So you might think, do you know what? I'm going to turn this into SA, serviced accommodation. You might think as well, a lot of people, again, it tends to go like that. Pretty much most things, really, things tend to go full circle. You might think, right, well, I've got a couple of old big Victorian properties, or anything that could be really split down. I'm going to split it into two or three studios so I can get two or three times rent. So although it's all under one roof and four walls, I'm now getting better cash flow. So you've got to be aware, especially if you're reading magazines, watching YouTube channels, going on seminars and so on, of thinking, right, I've tried that buy to let, it's rubbish. I'm now going to go for SA. I tried SA, but that's no good. I'm now going to go for this and that and so on. You've got to look at it as, you should really, obviously, what I tell my mentees, be in it for the long game. So I know some of you might have heard me say this before. We bought our first investment property just before the crash in 2007, paid 60,000 for it. I was fantastic at not negotiating the price. What a silly person. Obviously overpaid, did lots of things wrong back in the day, and then obviously when the crash hit 2008, 2009, it dropped to about 38, 40,000. Obviously I thought it was the end of the world. Thought, what have I done? This is the biggest mistake ever. Bear with me. The moral of the story is that now it's 2025 now, February. It was 2024, I think we got it revalued. Yeah, because we've just done a really deep refurb on it, and it was easily, comfortably, don't want to push it too much, valued at 120. Now, we deliberately put it to 120 because obviously with different cash here, there, and everywhere, I didn't want to overgear or over leverage. But the message there is, even though we had made that mistake of not negotiating, the good thing was we didn't sell and the property doubled. It increased in price. Yeah, of course, there was a time period there, but would that same money, if we'd put that 25% deposit in the bank instead of investing in that property, give or take, all the expenses over those 15, 18 years of ownership, would it have yielded the same results if it was just in the bank? I think we both know the answer there, don't we? Definitely. So, what I wanted to try and understand here, you've got buy to let, you've got your multi lets, your HMOs, you've got your title splits split into two, three bed flat studios, whatever. You've got your HMOs. Don't know if I've already said that or yet. You've then got your flips. You've then got serviced accommodation. You've then got more creative stuff. Really, if you haven't got that capital to start with, rent to rent, purchase lease options, depending on who you watch on YouTube and so on. The thing is, though, when we're doing deep research into properties, especially when I'm speaking to other investors and so on, and people that are wanting to work with us, I can constantly see opportunities around, and it's a case of, right, do you know what? No, we've got to stay. This is what we're looking at achieving this year, or this is what we're looking at achieving over the next 6 months. So you've got to have that clear plan. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to concentrate. These are my goals. These are my metrics. This is what I'm going to stick to, you know, because especially when you start to deal with more and more people and you start to network more, you'll always come across other things and go, do you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Make sure you've done your due diligence. You might want to jump ship, but just be aware that you can't continually jump ship because you won't become competent at any of them. So, which is the best strategy? Who knows? For us, obviously, it's definitely buy to let. That's a massive part of our portfolio because we're obviously looking for the long term. We want to, grow the capital. We want to make sure that we're building the wealth. And yeah, flips here and there for the lumps of cash. But again, if you're looking to flip the property, then you've got to question yourself, well, why don't I just refinance it? Pull that money out to then go into another property. But again, it's all down to you, really. So I hope this video helped, but please don't be, and again, I'm going to change topics here now. Obviously, you may or may not have read one of my books, the How to Build a Highly Profitable Martial Arts School. I've been studying karate since 1997. At the time now, I'm a 6th-degree black belt. And as you go through the arts, or as you train more in the arts, you've always got the, well, karate's better than judo, judo's better than boxing, boxing's better than Krav Maga, and it could continually go on and on and on. My style's better than your style, and so on. I think at the end of the day, again, I suppose I mentioned a lot of Bruce Lee quotes, really. A punch is a punch, a kick is a kick. It's dependent on the person, the practitioner, how well it's performed, and so on. I think that's exactly the same in property investing. You might be the best at doing buy to lets. You might purchase them at the right price. You might be able to add enough value that you pull near enough or even all of your money out plus more and get it, a great cash flow level. It's up to you. I think the more deals you do, the more efficient you become. Obviously, the better the margins are. So I hope that helped some people. If it did, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We would greatly appreciate this. If you're one of my mentees watching this, you probably heard me bang on about this all the time. Don't go or don't jump follow for shiny penny syndrome, okay? You stick in your lane, and again, if you're working with me, you should clearly know what lane you should be in, at least for the next 6-12 months. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching. Keep taking steps further forward, keep working on this mindset, keep building your business, and keep building that wealth. Good luck, everybody. All the best. Take care.